Good morning, lovely people. It is Monday, which means it's the morning meet-up show with myself, Callum, representing Team Kop-Ish. Konate targeted by Real Madrid on a free contract. Surprise. Luis Diaz's price has been set by Liverpool Football Club, but will Barcelona be willing to match it? And also, could we have found a Robbo replacement should he go to Atletico Madrid? People, sit back, relax. It's Monday morning. The sun is shining. Let's get into it.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
Two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gell. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys. Kopish. Beautiful people. Hope you're well. As always, please, whenever we get behind the mic, make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Look, I know it's Monday. I know we don't like quizzes and to, make our head hurt too much. Pause. However, every Monday, what I'm planning to do going forward, before we even get into the topics, is have a little shirt / recognition section. So all I'm going to say to you guys is this is the shirt I'm wearing today. We all know it. One of the most iconic Liverpool tops in recent history. What's the first player that comes to mind when you see this shirt? So I'm either going to wear a shirt and ask you guys, or I'm going to show you a shirt and then you guys have got to give me an answer. So for me, the person I recognize when I see this shirt is Steven Gerrard. But I want to hear what you guys think. And think outside the box as well. Maybe there's a player I'm forgetting about, someone like a Decena, but Gerrard's the first person I think of. So let me know in the comment section and let me know in the live chat as well. All right, let's get into the topics then, people. Luis Diaz is wanted by Barcelona. No surprise. Luis Diaz is a quality footballer. He's a player that is in love with Barcelona. No problems with that either. However, Barcelona over recent years have been one of these teams that always try and get a cut price deal because they're in the mud financially. I think we all know that. So let me just pattern myself up a little bit. Apologies. Yeah, you know how it goes. Obviously, just right. This beard life is hard, man. This beard life is hard. As I was saying, he's loved by Barcelona. He loves Barcelona. He's a player who, in my opinion, would enhance Barcelona's attack. Obviously, Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski is a fantastic trio. But behind that, you wouldn't say it's as strong. Luis Diaz going there covers all three positions. We've seen him play left, right, and centrally for Liverpool, all to a good level. So, with that being said, he's 28, or about to be 28. He's going to the last 2 years of his contract, which would suggest if you're going to sell him, selling him now would be the best thing, or you give him a new contract. Doesn't seem like we're willing to match his demands on a new contract, even though I think we probably should. And Barcelona want him for no more than £51 million. Now, £51 million in today's market is reasonable. But for a player of Diaz's stature and Diaz's quality, I don't think it is. And Liverpool want 68 million. So straight away, there's £17 million of non-compromise there. I don't see Barcelona matching that for his age profile, especially when they can get other players for a similar price. I'm not saying these players are as good, but Nico Williams, for example, I think his release clause is about £43 million. However, his salary demands might be more than Luis Diaz. And he's not as good as Luis Diaz in some people's eyes as well. I'm 50-50 on it. I think on his day, Nico Williams is brilliant, but how often does he have those days? Same with Diaz to an extent, although I would say Diaz is more consistent than Nico Williams, even though Diaz is older. So then you've got to compare those as well. My thing with this is we're in a difficult situation because if you don't give him a new contract, then he's going to go into the last year of his contract. Then he could turn around and be like, well, all right, I'm not going next summer. I'm just going to wait out and then go on a free then. And then I'm going to get a big fat salary and then we'd have lost out on money. It's a tricky one. But then you look at it and you go, okay, if we do sell Diaz now, it's a lot of change. And look, I understand it. We knew we had to have a big summer because we had done such little activity over the last 3 windows. But there's having a big summer and then there's maybe going a little bit too far potentially. And I think we are in danger of potentially going a bit too far. Now, I'm not sitting there saying it's all doom and gloom, guys. I'm not saying that. I do think Diaz is a player that can be replaced. Not easily, but he can be replaced. That being said, he's not a player that I'd prioritize replacing. Diaz, as I said, it can cover the left-hand side, can cover centrally, and can cover on the right-hand side. For me, keeping a player like that at this stage in our development, at this stage in our slash mini rebuild, for me is quite paramount. That being said, there are players who could replace him. Players like, and when I say replace, I'm not saying they're better than him before anyone goes crazy. I'm not saying that. But you've got players like Fofana, Nico Williams. Sorry. Rodrigo for me is a player who's better than Diaz and would be a fantastic replacement. But then you've also got to think, guys, we need a striker. And there's an argument to say we need two strikers. Now, if you can go and get someone like Alexander Isak, who, you know what I'm going for, guys, I want the best, Alexander Isak. And then let's say you can get a Duran on a loan, for example, then you're good because you're not having to pay too much for Duran. You're having to pay a lot for Isak, but not too much for Duran. And then the money that you sell Diaz for and Nunes for, add a bit more and get a left winger. But then you got to look at the profile of Cody Gakpo. Do you try and get someone better than Cody Gakpo, or do you get someone who's an understudy to Gakpo? Because again, for me, I do think we could improve on Gakpo as good as he was last season. Barcola, shout out to Liao 101's another one in the chat. It's a tricky one. It really is a tricky one. I mean, Barcelona apparently have gone as far as saying to Luis Diaz, look, make it easier for us if you can. It would be appreciated, which basically means put pressure on the club to sell. I mean, from how Michael Edwards is, I don't see us bowing to any pressure. I mean, ask Coutinho how that turned out. I just don't know how it works out for us because we have to make a decision on him this summer, in my opinion, because otherwise you get to a situation like I'll speak about in a minute with Konate. Ultimately, Liverpool need to make a decision this summer. And if we don't, then we're putting ourselves in a bit of a tricky situation. Unless you go to, again, maybe I'm a bit conditioned. We keep on thinking about we've got to sign up contracts and sort out contracts in the summer or in the January transfer windows. We don't. We could do it any time of the season. Contracts don't have a window per se like a transfer. Therefore, you could say to Barcelona, no, you could say to Diaz, look, we want to keep you. And then you could try and sign him up between the summer and January. If he still says no and Barcelona still want him, then maybe you can assess that in January and say, look, here's a player that's come to the fore. Here's a player we bring scouting for a little bit. We've seen that they've had a good August to January. Then, you know, we can do this. We can sell that player and then we can bring in this player. So we'll see. Mark A. Rio. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Rio. I want to pump the brakes on that one a little bit. Look, the kid is obviously talented. Like, there's no two ways about it. Andre, what's the double standards, brother? What I said? What have I said? The kid is talented. Obviously, there's tapes out there that can't be seen because he's destroying defenders in training. Training and games are very different. I don't see Trent or Bradley plowing through Rio in training. I do see another team's player doing that. They will kick the crap out of the boy because he's so talented, because he's so tricky. They will just kick the crap out of him. They'll muscle him about and it will be rough. Shout out to Mike. He says, nice, totally legit kick cow. Drop the link. No, this I can't drop the link to this. I've had this for a while. I don't even know where they sell it, if they still sell it. Do you know what? Saying that though, we did have a long spell with Adidas. If anyone at Adidas is watching or anyone has any connections to Adidas who might have a bit of power, you see these old shirts, you want to make some coin, you want to make some money, put these up for sale when the Adidas deal goes through, guys. Put this up for sale. All of these Adidas kits we had in the noughties, put them back up for sale. I'm telling you, we will clean it up. Adidas will make so much money if Liverpool if they do that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, let me know, guys, in the comment section. Would you sell Diaz or would you keep him? If you would sell Diaz, let me know who you would like to bring in as a replacement. Right, I'm going to address the elephant in the room in the chat because this is getting crazy now. Thomas Partey, Kolo Toure, Arsenio Hall. Who else have I seen recently? Obviously, Ousmane Dembele. Not every black person with a high top looks like me. nor do I look like every black person with a high top. This is getting crazy now. Ishmael Assar, this is what I mean. If they're black and they have a high top, it must be cow. It's gotta be cow. I don't want to use the R word, guys. Oh, Nana now. There it is, another one. Another one. There it is. There it is. I don't want to use the R word, but you know. Ashton Hall's and that bloody hell. Ashton, no, nothing like Ashton. Hudson Odoi don't even have a high top anymore. This is ridiculous. Jazzy Jeff. Wow. Rudiger's another one. You lot. This is disgusting, man. This is disgusting. I shouldn't be taking this sort of abuse from, you know, on a real to here. Is it undercolor? Is it underbelly color thing? Is it a color thing? Is it underbelly color thing? Alice Asoku. Someone said I look like a young Saeed. This is ridiculous. What's going on? You lot make me sick, man. The least you lot could do is smash the like button if you're going to abuse me, though. That's all I'm saying. OG Steve Harvey. Yeah, get out of here, man. Bun you lot. Bun you lot, man. On a Monday, how you lot starting trouble with me on a Monday, man? You lot didn't enjoy your Sunday and your Saturday, no? Absolutely shocking. Also, if you're in the UK, big up to all the dads, uncles, godfathers, stepdads, guardians. Happy Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day. Hope you all had a good one. I had the pleasure of spending the day with the family, catching up with my brother as well, and his little ones and his missus. So it was a very good day. So bless up all the dads, etc. in the chat. Bernie Mac, Alex George. Okay. I'm just going to take notes. Remember, I can go back and watch this and see the live chat. Wow, CJ Dan, Little Nas X as well. Okay. I'm going to go back, watch this video. I'm going to take notes. Mark A, I haven't been hiding from my barber. My barber's unavailable at the moment. As soon as my barber is available, then I will be making an appointment and I'll be getting myself sorted out. I don't hide from my barber, Mark A. What we doing here, man? What we doing here, you lot? Bloody hell, man. No chill in the chat today. It's Monday, man. The weather's nice outside if you're in the UK, but yet still smoke for Callum. Absolutely ludicrous behavior. Look, let's get back into it, though. I'm just going to start this segment with saying I'm sick to death of this club. In fact, I would take joy knowing this club folded more than any other club, maybe apart from Man United in world football. I think you all know who I'm talking about. Recently, Trent Alexander has signed for them, and now they want to, replicate and sign Konate. Not sign him this summer. Oh, no, because that would be too good of a thing to do. We're going to get in his ear and try and get him to run down his contract. Once again, Liverpool Football Club and Real Madrid are going battle for battle with one of our players because they want him to leave on a free. Now, I get the Trent stuff, and I know people will say, oh, Cal, you're a Trent defender, you're a Trent sympathizer. I just merely think there's two sides to a story sometimes. Now, granted, Trent recently ain't really helped the cause at all. Konate, where is different to Trent, though, in this situation, is that he has come out a few times and expressed his love for Liverpool in recent times. Now, Trent obviously did that in the past, kind of kept quiet in the last year, but Konate's done that recently. He also said that he has been given a contract offer, but it wasn't what he wanted. It wasn't satisfactory. Now, I think Konate's priority is to stay with Liverpool, especially after seeing Virgil re-sign and Mo re-sign. I think his priority is to stay. However, we can't ignore the elephant in the room and the pool that Real Madrid have. We just can't. As much as I hate the club, we can't ignore it. And because of that, this is a pivotal summer. Now, I'm telling you straight away, I don't want to sell Konate. I don't want to sell him. However, if we can't come to an agreement, then we will potentially have to try and sell him before the end of the window. But here comes the issue now, guys. It's very easy to say that. What if the player says, I don't want to leave? You can't force the player out. You can't force the player to go to a club that he doesn't want to go to. And this is where I say player power has now been taken, like player power is now back in the player's hands. It's not in the club's hands anymore. I don't know what we're going to do in this situation. We have to, in my opinion, get this. Like, forget what I said about Luis Diaz and we don't have to sign his contract this summer. Konate's contract we have to get done this summer. Like, there's no two ways about it. I don't want this going into the season. Absolutely not. But it does open up a wider conversation about the centre-back situation. And I'm not sure. All right, I don't want to make promises I can't keep. I am planning a video to do regarding centre-backs and the centre-back situation, because I don't think many people are really clocking on to how serious this situation is for Liverpool Football Club. I think because we have Virgil, who's the best in the world, because we have Konate, who's one of the best in the world, we sit there and go, oh, we're calm at centre-back. We're really not, guys. We're really not. And I'll show you with comparisons to our rivals and other teams in Europe. We're not calm in centre-back. In fact, quite the opposite, if I'm going to be honest. Hold on, Jamie Phillips. You can't just walk in the chat like this, Jamie, and start throwing off bombs. What are we doing here, brother? Jamie Phillips Football Chat says an Isak bid from Liverpool will go in this week. Eh? Eh? Hang about what? Bomber. Jamie, we're going to talk in a bit. We're going to talk in a bit. Wow. Cochinera says, I look like Don Robbie if he had hair. Cool. So another one you lot. So basically, I'm just any black man now. Any black man who's got a high top, or any black man that you can put a high top on in Photoshop. That's who I am, basically. Cool, sweet. As I said, I'm gonna go through the comments after the show, and I'm gonna start taking notes down. Smoke for the summer. But yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, we have to keep Konate. I'm not sitting there saying I think Konate is the second best defender in the world. He's not, in my opinion. But I think he's top. I'd go as far as saying he's top 6 or 7, maybe even top 5. Either way, he's one of the best centre-backs in the world. If you're in the top 10, you're one of the best in the world in your position, right? Therefore, I think we should do everything we can to re-sign him. However, I don't think he's irreplaceable. And when I say irreplaceable, I don't think we can get someone better than him or as good as him right now, but a player we could get could be as good as him in a year or 2 time. The problem is, do we have time to let that happen? And I don't know if we do. So again, people, I'm going to ask you, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Will we resign Konate to a new contract, or do you think we'll be forced to sell him? If not, do you think the unfortunate thing of his contract being run down and him going on a free to Real Madrid will happen? Let me know in the comments below. And finally, on to something that I believe is potentially the shock of the summer regarding Liverpool. And I know we've signed Wirtz, was a shock, but that's Andy Robertson could be on his way to Atletico Madrid. And look, it's come out recently that he's got the same agent as Trent. And apparently Robbo's agent, who is Trent's brother, has tried to get him out of Liverpool on a free, and also tried to do the same thing with Jordan Henderson. I mean, I don't know if he's got the memo, but transfers don't all work like that, man. All transfers aren't free transfers, man. So, yeah, like, can we do better? Big up K-Mac in the chat as well. Big up yourself, bro. Hope you're well. So, again, call me sentimental cow or whatever you want to call it. I don't want us to sell Robbo this summer, not because I think he's still world-class, not because I want him to be a start, but because of a little bit of continuity in the squad and not putting too much pressure on Kirkes. However, it has come to the rumour mill that if we are to sell him, Hato is the person we're going to go for. Now, I'm good with that. Everyone knows Hato was one of my first choices for left-back. The only issue I have with that is Kirkes and Hato. In fact, no, I can't even. I was about to say Hato's not the most experienced. That's not actually true. Hato's played a few seasons in the Champions League. He's been captain for his club. He's fought for league titles in Holland, and he's still young. He's actually more experienced than Kirkes is, despite his age. So, yeah, I can't even say that. You know what? Scrap that. Kirkes and Hato, for me, two very good left backs, one of whom can also play centre back. If we lose Robbo, I'm good with that. Plus, you don't have to register Hato in the squad. You can register Beck in the squad, give yourself another homegrown spot, and make it easier for you to navigate in the window. You know what? I had a whole little monologue prepared for inexperienced players and this, that, and the other. It's gone out the window. Scrap it. Scrap it. It's done. Hato and Kirkes as our two new fullbacks would be excellent. But one other thing that's glaringly lingering in the background, what's going on with Tsimikas? Everyone thought it's going to be Tsimikas who leaves, and then, you know, we'll go and get a left back in Kirkes. Robbo will be the backup, and then we'll all be good. And Robbo will leave next summer on a free, and things will be hunky-dory, and then we'll replace Robbo in a year's time. Hey, we could be losing both left backs. Or could Tsimikas be staying? It's another thing. Could Tsimikas actually be staying? I don't know, guys. It's a tricky one. It really is a tricky one. Look, I'm still buzzing about the transfer window. I'm still excited. I'm still very, very optimistic. And I'm also really intrigued to see what we do between now and the end of the window, because I still think a lot of players will be sold. But I also think quite a few will be brought in as well. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying the start of the window. Frimpong, Wirtz, Kirkes, Isak next, according to Jamie Phillips. It's looking good, people. It's looking good. Look, we'll be back later for the Monday Night Live show. If anything happens during the day, obviously, we'll cover that as well. And yeah, I'm going to get working on that centre-back video, because I think it's something that needs to be seen. And I think it's something that we need to have a discussion about. So, people, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, who's the first person you think of when you see this Liverpool top? And let me know in the comment section. Let me hit up these supers before I say sayonara. Done that one already. Big up to Ash says, what's your favorite hit? My Prerogative or Every Little Step? Also, Thug Loving collab with Ja Rule and Bobby Brown. So on my playlist. Big up yourself. Oh, my favorite. I can't. I've got a lot of. So, Rock With You by MJ. That's one of my all-time classics. Turn Your Lights Down Low, Lauryn Hill and Bob Marley. Who the Cap Fit, Bob Marley. Jay-Z, I Know. This Love by Donnell Jones. I've got a lot of songs, man. I've got a lot of songs. I can't. It's too difficult for me to pick a favorite. Too difficult. Dean says, to be honest, Cal, this is what Slot does. Second season, almost half the squad left at final. He brought in his own players, won a trophy. Let's stay calm. Hashtag 2026. I hear it. Finals a very different prospect to Liverpool in the Prem, no, bro. But I hear it. I do hear it. We will see, people. We will see. But people, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until we see you a bit later, stay safe, stay blessed. My name's Callum, representing Team Kopish. I'm out, people. Take care.